This is going to be the third and potentially final video. We're going to talk about some of the gear that I've reviewed over the last 5 years that has really earned a spot in my daily, or at least everyday, regular life. Things that I think go beyond just being cool and that I just like, but I actually find useful enough to make a part of my world, so to speak, and use them. And so we're going to talk about 5 more this time, because YouTube only lets you put 5 links up there to other videos. So I want to make sure I make it easy for you to go check out this gear in detail if you desire to. So stay tuned. That's what's coming up next here on Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose, your home for information and gear reviews related to camping, survival, and general preparedness for regular folks. My name's Brian. Thanks for joining me. So real quick, a little housekeeping. If you hadn't seen the other videos, or if you're not familiar with how YouTube works or whatever, up in that corner right there, in just a minute, you'll see a little white circle with an I in it, a lowercase I. And basically what that'll be, when that pops up, you can hover your mouse over it, or your finger over it, or push it on a cell phone or whatever. It'll open up a clickable link, which in this case will take you to the video about the whatever piece of gear I'm talking about right then. And as they're cumulative, so as the video goes on, if you just want to watch it to the very end, then hover your mouse up there, whatever, all the links will be there. They'll also be in the description below to the individual review videos about the items we're talking about today. And they'll also be in the description below links where you can go and purchase these items. And in most cases, if it's an Amazon link, if you purchase through that link, it'll benefit the channel financially at no extra cost to you. And it just helps me keep the lights on here at Survival on Purpose, and I really appreciate it. In fact, if you do all your Amazon shopping through the Survival on Purpose links, it helps. It doesn't cost you anything extra, and I really appreciate it too. So if you're looking to get that big screen, go for it. Okay, no more promo. So anyway, these are items that we're going to talk about today. There's 5 more. I've already done 2 other videos. I tried to get the top 5, but it's just really, I couldn't do it. There's so many things. I got like over 1,000 videos. I've reviewed a lot of different things, and there's a lot of cool stuff. If maybe your favorite thing is not in this list, that doesn't mean I don't like it. Doesn't mean I don't think it's cool. These are just the things that I personally have actually don't just think are cool, but I've actually used them in my life, and I think they're so useful and cool that I've kind of adopted them as part of my lifestyle. So anyway, without a lot more rambling, we're just going to get started right off the bat. And the very first thing we're going to talk about is some socks. Yeah, I know, real sexy and exciting, right? But most of us wear socks. I did a video a few years back. I think these socks are like 3 years old now, where I talked about why I wear wool socks year-round. I've actually found that, contrary to what you might believe, in the summer, they don't actually make your feet all hot and sweaty. They actually help keep your feet cool and dry. So anyway, so here are my white legs. These are darn tough wool socks. They're probably about 15, 18 bucks a pair. It's probably all the leg you can stand, right? I first bought these socks because they are guaranteed for life. So unless the old dryer monster gets them, you don't have to buy another pair. So I bought a couple pair of these. I gotta say, they've become my favorite socks, not just because they're guaranteed for life, because they're so stinking comfortable. They've got all different styles. Again, darn tough. I think they're made in Vermont. They're just really tough socks, and they're comfortable socks. You might think darn tough means they're going to be uncomfortable and itchy or whatever. Man, they are not. And I'm one of those guys who's kind of sensitive to wool. I have to wear merino or different itch-free wool. They don't itch. They don't make your feet sweat. They rock. Darn tough socks. There'll be a link to that video up here below. So hopefully that we'll get the old boring sock stuff out of the way. Next thing, finally, after 2 videos we're going to talk about a knife. And this is a knife that I reviewed about 3 years ago. You can see it's still in my pocket. You can see it's been used. I used this literally yesterday. I use this knife pretty much every day at work. I mean, for knife stuff. I don't try to break down pallets with it, but I did a video about this. This is the First Edge Auto. Now, this model is no longer available. They've improved it due to another video from another YouTube guy that took this one, stuck it in a pallet, and broke the tip off. So, if you need to break down pallets, this is probably not the knife for you. They actually improved it and cut, made the blade a little stronger and all that. And they've changed the lock on them, improved them. But First Edge Autos, that absolutely rocks. This and they come way down on the price of these things too. They were like 350 bucks. They're way down now. I'll put a link below, but I gotta say, this knife has earned a spot in my everyday carry, so that's right up there at the top. And again, I use this knife mostly at work. As a little bonus, we'll call this one a almost, you know, kind of an extra. It's not going to be a video to it up there because it's not going to be one of the 5. But my other everyday knife is a Benchmade 940. Not a cheap knife either. This is around the $150 to $200 range, depending on where you buy it. But I have, man, I've used this thing for like 3 years now. It's just butter smooth, silky good. So anyway, that's just a little bonus. But that was the second thing, right? The knife. Again, there'll be a link up there to that video, and I think it's a really it served me very well enough to where that I use it every day. I mean, I cut drywall with that yesterday. I used it to cut some plastic bolts. I mean, I just use it at work and it works. It's a very handy knife. The third item on the list is not a knife. It's a Haversack from Malcolm at the Hidden Woodsman. And I gotta say, I've had this one for a couple of years now. It's Malcolm's take on a traditional Haversack, but it's modern materials, 100% USA made with USA labor, US materials down to the thread. And I don't know what it is, just something about this. It is crazy, super comfortable to use. Got a very adjustable, very comfortable 2-inch webbing strap, just soft. I don't know. I carry this thing with me when I go camping. I carry it with me when I travel. It's kind of like my emergency bag. It's just very handy. Again, the video will be up there. I think this is Malcolm's best-selling item. I encourage you to check it out if you're interested in more of a, you know, kind of a traditional take with modern materials and stuff. Holds a lot of gear very comfortably. That's the Hidden Woodsman Haversack, and I think the price on this thing is somewhere around 80 bucks. I'm not 100% sure on that. Don't quote me. So anyway, that is number 3, I think, right? Number 4 is something I won't say I use it every day. Thankfully, I've never had to use it, but it's something that when I reviewed it, I became so, I guess I trust it so much that whenever I'm in the woods, this is what I wear. It is the Wazoo Survival Gear Survival Bracelet. And in this little bracelet, it's everything from a compass to fishing line to fire starter to first aid. It's absolutely amazing what's in this bracelet. And it's maybe a little bulkier than some, you know, straight up just plain old paracord bracelets, but it's got enough stuff in here and it's just on my arm. I don't have to worry about it. If I had to survive with it, you know, I think it could make a big difference in my survivability if I came to that situation. Hopefully I never do. So like I say, I've never had to use it, but as you can see, it's getting kind of worn a little bit. I've worn it, you know. Especially the Ranger bands. The Ranger bands are kind of been beat up a little bit, but they're holding together pretty well. And this has been, I think, close to 3 years now since I've had this. You have to check the video yourself, and it's just in the woods. I wear this. I wore it when I went tubing down the river. I go rafting, you know, with the Boy Scouts or whatever. I just wear this because I think it's very easy to have on your arm and have a really comprehensive micro survival kit that's got high quality stuff. I mean, this is not a bunch of cheap dollar store stuff in here. This is really high quality components in here. The folks at Wazoo just really do a great job in that whole survival gear thing. So, and this again is not cheap. It's around 80 bucks or something, 80, 90 bucks or something like that. But again, buy it once, it's just peace of mind. So that's number 4, right? The last item, I saved it for the last. I saved the knife for last so we could finish with a knife because I didn't do any knives on the other ones. And this has become my absolute go-to Boy Scout knife, my camping knife. And that's the Swiss Army knife one-handed trekker. And this one is the serrated version. They have a non-serrated version, but I actually prefer the serrated in this case. What's cool about it is, if you'll notice, the serration is out here on the end, and it's got a fine edge. It's actually a chisel ground, but here, so if you're doing like some fine carving, you got more control right here. And so you using the fine edge there, and then you got the serrated out here. That's the word I was looking for, serrated. It's a lock blade. Then it also features a saw and some other cool Swiss Army stuff. And it does not come with this piece of very frayed bank line. This is my don't lose your knife cord here. I tie it around my belt loop when this is in my pocket. Gives me enough room to use it. And I use this with the Boy Scouts. I mean, this is my in the woods pocket knife. So it's around, I'm gonna say it's around the $50 range. That's a wild guess. I don't know what it is now. But they offer it in serrated version, non-serrated. It's got the one-handed opening version to lock up. It's just hard to go wrong. That's my favorite Swiss Army knife that I've ever used as far as a bigger knife. So that's number 5. You'll notice, by the way, that there's no fixed blades on this list, and there's a reason for that. There were a couple fixed blades that I almost used. Almost added to the list. The Tahoma field knife from Tops Knives, designed by Andy Tran, is one of them. My original got stolen. Chris Tanner prepared mine 101, was just generous and kind enough to send me his because he didn't really use it. And mine had the double edge on the front, his didn't. But it's still a really great knife. It's still in my backpack right now. I carry it with me. But to be honest with you, I don't really get to use a fixed blade for long term as much as I do these folding knives. I use them all the time. I mean, these have got a lot of use. So I want to just add, I didn't want to put something in the list just because I thought it was cool. I want it because I actually use it in my life. And I've reviewed so many fixed blades that I haven't really used any long term over a long period of time. Now right now I am using the MSK1 from Ultimate Survival Tips and Dave over there long term, because I made a commitment to you and to the other viewers to do that, because there's just so much hype and drama around that knife. And we're not going to talk, that's not what this video is about, so I'm just going to stop that. I don't want to get that started, but this has been the final video in showing 5 of the things that I've reviewed that I like so much that I just use them all the time, and there's something I really consider of value to my life. And hopefully this video has been helpful to you and maybe added some value to your life if you're looking, maybe we're interested in these things. Again, there'll be links up here. If you click that up now, they should all drop down and be every link. There'll be links in the description below to look at those videos of each individual review and to purchase items if you so desire. Maybe that'll help the channel a little bit. I really appreciate the support. As always, thanks for watching Survival on Purpose. I put out a brand new video every Friday and Saturday, and sometimes random videos throughout the week. There's another one right there. And if you don't want to miss a single video, please make sure you're subscribed. If you're not, click down in the corner. And whether you are or not, make sure you go back and click that little bell, the notification bell, so YouTube will let you know when I put out a new video, because otherwise they probably won't. I really appreciate your support. Once again, my name's Brian. You're watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival's not an accident, so be prepared. I'll see you next time.